As someone like me who'd always play soccer at recess with my friends back in elementary, I've never really had any actual interest in the sport. But I'm glad to say that this manga sorta kindled a flame in me, giving me the urge to actually learn the sport or even play it. Blue Lock, the manga I've talked about a bit in 2021, the manga that blows most and probably every other sports anime out of the water, and the sports manga that teaches you how to climb to the top. Hey guys, Dark Hero Josh here, and today we are going to be going over the amazing and unique sports manga called Blue Lock. As we grow up, we were told that sports is all about teamwork and that we should all have trust in our teammates completely. Kinda like the vibe you'd get from watching Haikyuu or just any other sports manga or anime. But this manga is different, being able to flip that whole narrative of teamwork on its head, creating what is supposed to be a sports manga mainly about teamwork and trust into a sports manga based solely off of the egoism of the characters. To give a quick synopsis of Blue Lock, in the 2018 FIFA World Cup, Japan loses in the 16th round, and because of that, Henri Thierry, a new member of the Japan Football Association, gets furious and thinks of a plan to create the ultimate player that can lead Japan to victory. And in part of that plan is to bring a new coach by the name of Jinpachi Ego to break down the foundation of the current national team. Jinpachi's plan, or I guess I should say project, is called the Blue Lock Project, which is a facility that will gather the top 300 high school strikers in Japan to train and forge them in hopes of one individual out of the 300 to rise on top, defeating the other 299 other strikers and become the best striker in the world. But there is a catch to this. If you end up getting defeated or lose to another team, depending how good you performed, not only are you kicked out of the facility, you'll never be able to go pro again. We follow this project of Jinpachi's through the eyes of our main protagonist Isagi Yoichi. Now, the reason why I love Isagi's character so much is because of his growth. As we start reading the first few chapters of Blue Lock, we start seeing some cool and unique characters that Blue Lock has brought to the table, each having their own ability that they can use freely in a sense. But when we look at Isagi, we don't really get that same feeling, or at least that's not until later on in the story where we get to see his growth, seeing how Blue Lock changed him and his ideology of football altogether. We see this happen to a multitude of other characters throughout the story, like Kunigami, Bachira, Nagi, etc. But that's also a big part in why I love this manga so much. It's because even though Isagi is our main protagonist in the story, he's not the only main focus in the story. Like, we don't follow him 24/7 pretty much, which gives us more intel about the various other characters that got invited to Blue Lock. Speaking of characters, I really do love the unique cast we have, like Bachira for example. When we see him in the first few chapters, he acts pretty childish and immature compared to everybody else in Team Z. But when he gets down to business, it's like if he's the craziest and even most skilled person on the field. Other characters like Kunigami, Aku, or even Shido are just more examples of how almost everybody in Blue Lock has this duality that makes them seem like the most OP characters on the field, allowing for us viewers and readers to be able to watch the cast without a sense of boredom. Anyways, what I absolutely love about Blue Lock and what really makes it stand out from any other sports manga is definitely its art. Considering the fact that the artist for Blue Lock also made the art for Jagan, another popular but underrated manga series with very detailed art, mind you, the way that the artist is able to create physical manifestations of different metaphors and expressions for each and every character is absolutely insane. Like, check out this example, and this, and this, and this, etc. It honestly just adds so much more to the story, and hopefully when it's certain parts in the manga that I love personally get adapted into the anime, that the studio doesn't mess up and do those scenes justice. Now, I've also seen some people hate on Blue Lock, mind you, because of how edgy it might seem or how unrealistic it might seem with its dialogue and all. Me personally, I don't see it being as big as a problem as others say it is, and honestly I think that the author is just one of those guys that are willing to sacrifice the realism of something, in this case the manga, as long as he gets his point across. Another thing that makes Blue Lock so special, and I personally think that this is like the main reason why this divides Blue Lock from every other sports anime, is because each and every character in Blue Lock is working towards a bigger goal. Now let me explain. In other sports anime, you see the characters are most of the time high schoolers working towards a childhood dream. But in those same anime, the stakes are way lower than Blue Lock's. Most of the matches are held in a classic tournament arc between other high schools. After that, it's done. Win or lose, it's not the end of the world. Maybe a little time skip to see what the cast is doing after high school, but that is it. With Blue Lock, it's almost like a life or death situation, or a kill or be killed type situation the 300 strikers are put into. Keep winning and survive the Blue Lock, or be killed and never be able to live your childhood dream. And the fact that they implemented the whole battle royale type aspect into the story just makes it not only 100 times better, but also 100 times more enjoyable. Blue Lock is definitely the massively addictive sports manga that you do not want to miss out on, and a sports manga that I highly recommend if you have some free time on your hands, of course. The current manga has about 172 chapters out right now if you are interested to know that. And if you don't feel like reading manga, that's perfectly fine, because pretty recently the anime adaptation for this manga was set to release this October. Yes, fall of 2022. So I guess you could wait until then to experience this work of art. As we reach the end of the video, please leave a like, sub to the channel if you're new for more anime recommendation type videos like this, and comment down below whether or not you want me to make more Blue Lock related content on the channel. And without further ado, you guys have a great day and see ya.